Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you a simple question. What if the only thing standing between you and fluent English is not grammar, not vocabulary, and not your accent, but one small habit that nobody ever taught you? Every day, millions of people study English, yet they still feel nervous when it is time to speak. They know the words, but they cannot use them confidently. If this sounds like you, then stay with me because in this video, I will share simple secrets that can help you think in English, speak with confidence, and finally enjoy using the language. And make sure you watch until the end, because the final lesson could completely change the way you learn English forever. Chapter 1. Hello, everyone. I am very happy that you are here today. We are starting an important journey together, and this journey can change the way you learn English forever. Today, we will talk about something that many English learners do not understand at first. Most people think that the secret to speaking English is learning more grammar, memorizing more vocabulary, or studying more books. They spend months and even years learning rules, reading lessons, and watching videos. But when it is time to speak, something strange happens. The words disappear. The confidence disappears. The voice becomes quiet. The mind becomes full of fear. Maybe this has happened to you too. Maybe you understand English when you read it. Maybe you understand English when you hear it. But when someone asks you a simple question in English, your heart starts beating faster. You begin to worry. You start thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if my grammar is wrong? What if my pronunciation is not good? These thoughts stop many people from speaking. But today I want to share an important truth with you. Your biggest problem is probably not English. Your biggest problem is fear. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever seen someone who speaks English confidently even though their grammar is not perfect? Have you ever met someone who makes mistakes but still speaks comfortably with other people? Why can they do it? The answer is simple. They are not waiting to become perfect before they speak. They speak first and improve later. This is the secret that many successful English learners discover. Confidence comes before fluency. Confidence comes before perfection. Confidence grows every time you open your mouth and try. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls down many times. The child makes mistakes again and again. But the child does not stop. The child does not say, I will walk only when I can walk perfectly. No, the child keeps trying. Step by step, day by day, the child becomes stronger. Learning English works exactly the same way. Every mistake is a step forward. Every conversation is practice. Every attempt makes you better. Many learners believe that confident speakers are born with special talent. They think some people are naturally confident while others are not. But that is not true. Confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is something you build. It grows little by little. It grows when you try something difficult. It grows when you speak, even though you feel nervous. It grows when you stop worrying about being perfect. Let me ask you another question. What is the real purpose of language? Is it to use perfect grammar all the time? Is it to know thousands of difficult words? Is it to sound like a dictionary? Of course not. The purpose of language is communication. Language helps us share ideas. Language helps us express feelings. Language helps us connect with people. If someone understands your message, then communication has happened. That is what matters most. Many learners spend so much time trying to avoid mistakes that they never give themselves permission to speak. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they know enough words. They wait until they understand every grammar rule. They wait until they feel confident. But the perfect moment never comes. The truth is that confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes because of action. The more you speak, the more confident you become. The more confident you become, the more you speak. It is a cycle that grows stronger every day. Another thing that stops many learners is their accent. Some people feel embarrassed because they do not sound like native speakers. They compare themselves to people on television, in movies, or on social media. But listen carefully. Your accent is not your enemy. Your accent tells the story of your journey. It shows that you know more than one language. There is nothing wrong with that. People around the world speak English with different accents. The goal is not to sound exactly like someone else. The goal is to communicate clearly and confidently. That is what truly matters. I want you to remember something important. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker was once nervous. Every person who speaks English well today made mistakes in the past. They did not become successful because they were perfect. They became successful because they continued practicing when others gave up. They continued speaking when others stayed silent. They continued learning when others became discouraged. Now imagine yourself 6 months from today. Imagine speaking English more comfortably. Imagine understanding more conversations. Imagine sharing your thoughts without fear. Imagine feeling proud of your progress. That future version of you is possible, but it starts with one simple decision. The decision to stop chasing perfection and start building confidence. From today, give yourself permission to make mistakes. Give yourself permission to learn slowly. Give yourself permission to speak even when you feel nervous. Because every word you speak is helping you improve. Every sentence you try is making you stronger. Every small step is bringing you closer to your goal. Remember this powerful truth. Perfect English is not the key to confidence. Confidence is the key to better English. So as we continue this journey together, keep an open mind. Believe in yourself. Trust the process. Your English does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be practiced. And if you continue showing up every day, little by little, step by step, you will become the confident English speaker you dream of becoming. Chapter 2. Now that you understand why confidence is more important than perfect English, let us talk about something that can completely change the way you speak English. This is a secret that many fluent speakers use every day without even thinking about it. The secret is learning to think in English instead of translating everything in your mind. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine someone asks you a simple question in English. Maybe they ask, "How was your day?" What happens next for many learners? First, they hear the English question. Then they translate it into their native language. After that, they think of an answer in their native language. Then they try to translate the answer back into English. Finally, they speak. This whole process takes time. It creates confusion. It makes speaking feel slow and stressful. Sometimes the conversation moves on before you can even answer. This is one of the biggest reasons many learners struggle to speak confidently. The problem is not that they do not know English. The problem is that they are trying to use two languages at the same time. But imagine something different. Imagine hearing the question, "How was your day?" and immediately thinking, "My day was good. I worked, studied English, and relaxed." No translation, no extra steps, just simple English thoughts. This is how fluent speakers communicate. They think directly in English. The good news is that you can learn this skill too. It does not happen overnight, but it becomes easier with practice. Think about how children learn their first language. A child does not learn by translating words. A child learns by connecting words directly to objects, actions, and experiences. When a child sees water, they learn the word water. They do not translate it. When they see a dog, they learn the word dog. They connect the word directly to the object. This is a natural way of learning language, and you can use the same method with English. Start with small things around you. Look around your room. See a chair. Think, chair. See a window. Think, window. See a book. Think, book. This may sound very simple, but it trains your brain to connect English directly to the world around you. After a few days, start making small sentences. Look at your coffee and think, "I am drinking coffee." Look outside and think, "The weather is nice today." Look at your phone and think, "I have a message." These simple thoughts help your brain build English habits. Another powerful exercise is talking to yourself in English. Do not worry. You are not being strange. Many successful language learners do this. When you wake up in the morning, say, "Good morning. Today will be a good day." When you are cooking, say, "I am making breakfast." When you are walking, say, "I am going to the store." These small moments create thousands of opportunities to practice English every week. The best part is that you can do it anywhere and anytime. No teacher is needed, no classroom is needed, just you and your thoughts. At first, you may only know simple words and short sentences. That is perfectly okay. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is creating a new habit. Every day, your brain becomes a little faster. Every day, English starts feeling more natural. One day, you will notice something amazing. You will answer a question in English without translating. You will understand a sentence without thinking about grammar rules. You will speak more quickly and confidently. That moment is exciting because it shows that your brain is starting to think in English naturally. Many learners believe they need thousands of vocabulary words before they can think in English. That is not true. You can start today with the words you already know. Even if you only know 50 words, you can create simple thoughts. The important thing is consistency. Practice a little every day. Be patient with yourself. Do not get frustrated if it feels difficult in the beginning. Every new skill feels difficult before it becomes easy. Remember, fluency is not about knowing every word in the dictionary. Fluency is about using the words you know quickly and naturally. The more you think in English, the more comfortable you become. The more comfortable you become, the more confident you feel. And the more confident you feel, the more you will enjoy speaking English. So starting today, challenge yourself to think a little more in English. Use simple words. Use short sentences. Do not worry about mistakes. Just let English become a part of your daily life. Because when English becomes a habit in your mind, speaking English becomes much easier with your voice. Chapter 3. Now that you understand the power of confidence and the importance of thinking in English, it is time to discover another secret that can completely transform your English speaking skills. Many learners believe that speaking is the first skill they should focus on. They spend all their time trying to talk, memorize sentences, and practice conversations. But what if I told you that great speaking actually begins with great listening? This may sound surprising, but listening is the foundation of every language. Think about a baby. Before a baby speaks a single word, the baby spends months listening. The baby listens to parents, family members, and people around them every day. Little by little, the brain starts recognizing sounds, words, and patterns. One day, the baby says a first word. Later, the baby starts making sentences. Speaking comes after listening. The same process works for English learners. If you want to speak English naturally, you must first fill your mind with English through listening. Many learners struggle because they are trying to speak more English than they have listened to. Imagine trying to take water from an empty well. No matter how hard you try, nothing comes out because nothing is inside. Your brain works the same way. If you do not listen regularly, your brain has very little English stored inside it. But when you listen every day, your brain slowly fills with English words, expressions, pronunciation patterns, and sentence structures. Then speaking becomes easier and more natural. The wonderful thing about listening is that you can do it almost anywhere. You can listen while walking. You can listen while traveling. You can listen while exercising. You can even listen while doing simple tasks at home. Every minute of listening is helping your brain become more familiar with English. But here is an important secret. Do not listen to content that is too difficult for you. Many beginners make this mistake. They choose advanced movies, complicated podcasts, or difficult speeches. After a few minutes, they become confused and frustrated. Instead, choose content that matches your level. Listen to simple stories. Listen to graded readers. Listen to beginner conversations. Listen to slow English lessons. When you understand most of what you hear, your confidence grows and your learning becomes faster. Another powerful habit is repetition. Many learners think they should always listen to something new, but listening to the same story or lesson several times can be extremely helpful. The first time you listen, you may only understand a little. The second time, you understand more. The third time, you notice new words and expressions. Each time your brain becomes stronger. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is training. Professional athletes repeat the same movements many times. Musicians practice the same songs again and again. Language learners should do the same. There is also a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing happens automatically. Listening requires attention. For example, you can play an English video in the background while doing something else. That is hearing. But when you focus on the words, try to understand the message and pay attention to pronunciation. That is listening. Active listening helps you learn much faster. Another great technique is shadowing. This means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately after the speaker. You copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. At first, it may feel difficult, but with practice, it becomes easier. Shadowing trains your ears and your mouth at the same time. It helps you sound more natural and confident. Remember, you do not need to understand every single word. Many learners stop listening because they hear a few unknown words. Do not do that. Focus on understanding the main idea. Even native speakers do not catch every word in every conversation. The goal is communication, not perfection. If you continue listening every day, something amazing will happen. English will start feeling familiar instead of foreign. You will begin recognizing words more quickly. Your pronunciation will improve naturally. Your vocabulary will grow without memorizing endless lists. Most importantly, your confidence will increase because your brain will become comfortable with English. So starting today, make listening a daily habit. Even 10 or 15 minutes can make a difference. Listen patiently. Listen consistently. Trust the process. Every sentence you hear is teaching your brain something new. Every story you listen to is helping you become a better English speaker. Remember, fluent speakers are not only good at speaking, they are also excellent listeners. The more English you listen to, the more English you will be able to speak. And that is one of the most powerful secrets on your journey to mastering English with confidence. Chapter 4. Now we have reached the chapter that changes everything. You have learned why confidence is important. You have learned how to think in English. You have learned the power of listening every day. But now it is time to talk about the one thing that separates successful English learners from those who stay stuck for years. That one thing is speaking. Many learners spend months learning grammar. They memorize hundreds of words. They watch endless videos and read many books. But they still cannot speak confidently. Do you know why? Because they are waiting for the perfect moment. They tell themselves, I will start speaking when my grammar becomes perfect. I will start speaking when I know more vocabulary. I will start speaking when I feel confident. But here is the truth that many people never realize. The perfect moment never comes. If you wait until you feel completely ready, you may wait forever. The secret is simple. You must start speaking before you feel ready. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You can read books about bicycles. You can watch videos about bicycles. You can listen to experts explain bicycles. But no matter how much information you collect, you will never learn to ride until you get on the bicycle and start moving. Language learning works exactly the same way. Speaking is not something you learn first and practice later. Speaking is something you learn by doing. Every time you speak, you improve. Every sentence you say teaches your brain something new. Every conversation makes you stronger. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think mistakes are signs of failure. But successful learners understand something different. They know that mistakes are signs of progress. If you never make mistakes, it probably means you are not challenging yourself enough. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every mistake shows you what to improve. Imagine a baby learning to walk. The baby falls many times, but nobody calls those falls failures. They are simply part of the learning process. Speaking English is the same. You may forget words. You may make grammar mistakes. You may pronounce something incorrectly. That is normal. That is learning. That is growth. One of the easiest ways to begin speaking is by talking to yourself. This may sound simple, but it is one of the most powerful exercises you can do. When you wake up in the morning, describe your day in English. Say, "I'm getting ready for work. I am making breakfast. Today I want to practice English." When you are walking outside, describe what you see. Say, "The weather is nice today. There are many people here. I can see a beautiful building." These small speaking moments train your brain to use English naturally. Another excellent method is mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and talk for 1 or 2 minutes. Speak about your day, your hobbies, your goals, or anything you like. Look into your eyes and speak slowly. At first, you may feel uncomfortable. That is completely normal. But after a few days, you will notice something amazing. You will become more comfortable hearing your own voice. Your confidence will start growing. You will begin speaking more smoothly. Recording your voice is another powerful exercise. Use your phone and record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Then listen to the recording. Do not criticize yourself. Do not focus on every mistake. Instead, notice your progress. Notice what sounds good. Notice what can be improved. Every recording becomes a step forward. Many learners avoid listening to their own voice, but this habit can accelerate improvement. Remember, your goal is not to sound perfect. Your goal is to communicate clearly and confidently. Another important lesson is that short conversations matter. Many people think they need long conversations to improve. That is not true. Even a few minutes of speaking every day can create amazing results over time. Consistency is more important than intensity. 5 minutes every day is often better than 1 hour once a week. Little steps repeated daily create big changes. The most important thing I want you to remember is this: confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes from speaking. Every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you become stronger. Every time you overcome fear, you build confidence. Every time you practice, you move closer to fluency. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel completely ready. Start today. Start small. Start with simple sentences. Start with mistakes if necessary. because every great English speaker once started exactly where you are now. They improved because they spoke. And if you continue speaking every day, no matter how imperfect it feels, you will improve too. Your future confident English-speaking self is waiting for you. The journey begins the moment you open your mouth and speak. Chapter 5. Now let me share something that surprises many English learners. Most people believe that fluent speakers use very advanced vocabulary, complicated grammar, and long, impressive sentences. They think that speaking good English means sounding like a professor or using difficult words that nobody else uses in daily life. But the truth is completely different. The best communicators in the world are not always the people who know the most words. They are the people who can express their ideas clearly and confidently. Think about the conversations you have every day. When you talk to a friend, a family member, a co-worker, or a classmate, do you use complicated words all the time? Of course not. Most communication happens through simple and clear language. This is why one of the biggest secrets to mastering English with confidence is learning to speak clearly, not perfectly. Many learners make the mistake of trying to impress people instead of trying to communicate with people. They spend so much time searching for advanced vocabulary that they forget the real purpose of language. The purpose of language is understanding. If people understand your message, then you are already succeeding. Imagine two English learners. The first learner uses very difficult words but speaks slowly, hesitates often, and struggles to explain simple ideas. The second learner uses simple words but speaks clearly, confidently, and naturally. Which person would you enjoy talking to more? Most people would choose the second learner. Why? Because communication is about connection, not complexity. This is an important lesson that can instantly improve your English. Instead of trying to sound smart, focus on being clear. Instead of searching for perfect words, focus on expressing your thoughts. The clearer you speak, the more confident you will feel. Another important habit is speaking slowly. Many learners believe that speaking fast makes them sound fluent. But speaking too fast often creates mistakes, confusion, and nervousness. When you speak slowly, you give yourself time to think. Your pronunciation becomes clearer. Your confidence increases. Your listener can understand you more easily. In fact, many confident speakers naturally speak at a comfortable pace. They are not rushing. They are communicating. Here is a simple exercise. Before speaking, take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Then say your sentence calmly. Pause for a moment. Then continue. These small pauses make you sound more confident and more professional. Another powerful tool is your voice. Many learners focus only on words and forget about how they speak. Your voice can make a huge difference. Imagine someone saying, "I am happy to be here today," with a flat and emotionless voice. Now imagine someone saying the same sentence with warmth and enthusiasm. The words are identical, but the feeling is completely different. People respond to energy and emotion. When you speak, allow your voice to sound natural and alive. Smile while speaking. A smile changes the sound of your voice. It makes you sound friendly and approachable. This small habit can instantly improve your communication. Body language is also important. Even when speaking English, your body communicates before your words do. Stand straight. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Make comfortable eye contact. Use natural hand movements when appropriate. These simple actions help you appear more confident. And something interesting happens when you act confidently. You start feeling more confident as well. Confidence is not only something inside your mind, it is also something you create through your actions. Another common mistake is trying to speak perfectly all the time. Remember, perfection is not the goal. Communication is the goal. Even native speakers make mistakes. They forget words. They correct themselves. They pause while thinking. That is normal. You do not need to speak perfectly to be understood. You only need to keep communicating. The more you accept mistakes as part of learning, the more relaxed you become. And when you are relaxed, your English improves naturally. One of the easiest ways to become a better communicator is by asking questions. Questions keep conversations alive. Questions show interest. Questions help you practice speaking without carrying the entire conversation yourself. Simple questions like, "What do you think?" "Can you tell me more?" Or, "How was your day?" can create meaningful conversations. People enjoy talking with someone who listens and shows genuine interest. As you continue your English journey, remember this important truth. Clear English is powerful English. Simple English is effective English. Confident English is memorable English. You do not need a huge vocabulary to communicate well. You do not need perfect grammar in every sentence. What you need is the courage to speak, the willingness to practice, and the desire to connect with others. Every day you speak clearly, you become a better communicator. Every conversation makes you stronger. Every small improvement brings you closer to your goal. So focus on clarity. Focus on confidence. Focus on communication. Because when people understand your message, your English is already working exactly the way it should. Chapter 6. We have now reached the final chapter of our journey, and I want you to stay with me until the very end, because this chapter can make the difference between someone who dreams about speaking English and someone who actually speaks English confidently. Throughout this lesson, we have talked about confidence, thinking in English, listening every day, speaking without fear, and communicating clearly. But now there is one important question. How do you continue improving after this video ends? How do you make sure that your English becomes better every week, every month, and every year? The answer is simple. You need a daily system. Many learners fail not because they are lazy or not intelligent. They fail because they depend on motivation. One day they feel excited and study for 2 hours. The next day they feel tired and do nothing. Then a week passes. Then a month passes. Slowly their progress stops. Successful learners do something different. They create a simple routine and follow it consistently. They understand that small actions repeated every day create big results over time. Imagine two people. The first person studies English for 3 hours once a week. The second person studies English for only 20 minutes every day. After a few months, the second person usually makes more progress. Why? Because learning becomes a habit, and habits are more powerful than motivation. So let me share a simple daily English success system that anyone can follow. First, spend 5 minutes listening to English. Choose a short story, a beginner lesson, or a simple conversation. Do not worry about understanding every word. Focus on understanding the main idea. Let your ears become familiar with English. Remember, listening is the foundation of speaking. Next, spend 5 minutes reading aloud. Take a short paragraph from a book, an article, or an English lesson. Read slowly and clearly. Pay attention to your pronunciation. Reading aloud trains your mouth to produce English sounds more naturally. It also helps build confidence because you are actively using the language. After that, spend 5 minutes speaking. Talk to yourself about your day. Describe what you see around you. Share your thoughts about something interesting. Speak in front of a mirror if possible. Remember, speaking is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Then spend 5 minutes reviewing vocabulary. Do not try to learn 50 words at once. Learn a few useful words and practice using them in sentences. It is better to know 10 words well than 100 words that you never use. This entire routine takes only 20 minutes, but if you do it every day, the results can be amazing. Another important habit is tracking your progress. Sometimes learners feel discouraged because they do not notice their improvement. But improvement often happens slowly. Keep a notebook. Write down new words. Record yourself speaking once a week. Save your recordings and listen to them after a few months. You may be surprised by how much better you sound. Small improvements are still improvements. Celebrate them. Every new word you learn matters. Every conversation you have matters. Every minute you spend practicing matters. Another secret to long-term success is being patient with yourself. Learning English is not a race. Some days will feel easy, other days will feel difficult. Sometimes you will feel confident. Sometimes you will make mistakes. That is normal. Do not compare your progress to someone else's progress. Everyone learns at a different speed. Focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. That is enough. Remember that fluency is not built in a day. It is built through hundreds of small efforts. Every time you listen, you improve. Every time you read, you improve. Every time you speak, you improve. Every time you make a mistake and keep going, you improve. And now I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from today. Imagine understanding English more easily. Imagine speaking with less fear. Imagine having conversations that feel natural and comfortable. Imagine the confidence you will feel when you realize that you can express your thoughts in English. That future is possible. It starts with the small actions you take today. So believe in yourself. Trust the process. Stay consistent. Keep learning even when progress feels slow. Keep speaking even when you feel nervous. Keep listening even when you do not understand everything. Because every day you practice, you are becoming the person you want to be. Remember, mastering English is not about being perfect, it is about making progress, step by step, day by day, word by word, conversation by conversation. Your journey is just beginning, and if you continue moving forward, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, and the world deserves to hear them.